Hey, guys. So today we're talking about the fact that you have to have a regulated nervous system and it has to feel safe in order for you to let go of your blocks. So whether or not the blocks are related to money, they're related to success, they're related to, I don't know, there's no good guys or gals out there to date, whatever your freaking blocks are about. If you do not feel safe letting go of that block, you will not be able to let go of it. And I guarantee if you've had a block that you've been aware of that you have not been able to let go of and you've tried different ways of letting go of it, this might be one of the reasons that you have not been able to let go of it. And it's one of the things that I do a lot of work with my clients around because it involves the power of the nervous system. It involves the power of our psychology in the way that our brain works. Because here is the thing. Your blocks are a coping mechanism. Your blocks evolved for a reason. Now, bear with me because I know a lot of people are like, I don't want my blocks. I don't want my money blocks. I don't want some block telling me that it's not safe to make more money. No, I'm ready to let that go now. Get away from me. No, I don't want it. Yeah, I know you can say that till the cows come home, but it ain't going to make a lick of difference if you, on some level, feel as though that block has been protecting you your entire life. So bear with me. So let's say that you watched, I've been talking about this example a lot lately, but you watched your mom work 2 jobs and she was busy all the time and she was gone at night and you never saw her and you loved your mom to bits and you wished you had more time with her. But eventually she was able to build, some wealth and she made more money. But she did it at the detriment of being able to spend time with her family. And she wasn't even able to spend time with your dad either. And their marriage ended up falling apart. And so watching this, you ended up learning when you were very freaking young that A, to build wealth, you're going to have to sacrifice time with your B, if you build wealth, you're going to end up basically losing your partner. And that these things are way too steep of a price for you to pay. I don't want to lose my family. I don't lose time with my kids. I don't want to lose my partner. But I think that on a subconscious level outside of my awareness is necessary for me to build wealth. So I'm not going to create wealth. I'm not going to make more money because that thing, creating wealth, will take away the other thing that I value, right? So that's the way these blocks work, right? It developed at a time when you were so young that you were like, I just want to protect my family. I just want to be with my mom. I just want to see my parents happy. I just want my parents to stay together. And so that block developed as a way to try to give you those things, to try to give you the gift of holding on to the things that you held most dear. And yet we all look at these money blocks and we're just like, oh, you're the worst thing ever. I wish you didn't exist, and we wish it away, or we hope it away, or we think just becoming aware of it is going to make it go away. Or we try to do a mantra and make it go away, or we just tap and we try to make it go away, or whatever. We just try to make it go away without understanding, validating, and really communicating with it about why the heck it's there to begin with and the value that it's tried to provide us in our lives. So this is what a coping mechanism is at its core, right? In psychological vocabulary, language, whatever you might, whatever way you might say it. As you guys know, I'm a psychologist and I have a specialty in working with trauma and working with the mind-body connection. And I can tell you right now that on a psychological basis, if we don't understand why we've developed a coping mechanism and make it safe for us to let that coping mechanism go, it's never going to go anywhere. That means your money blocks ain't going anywhere until you do the rewiring work necessary to release it. What that means is it means looking at it from multiple levels. I didn't mean to say multiple, but multiple levels, including feeling as though you have a regulated nervous system, feeling as though you can look at this money block, you can look at this thing that has felt stressful and overwhelming, and perhaps you're frustrated and irritated and maybe even angry at the money block for being there to begin with. Well, guess what that is? That's this kind of energy. You're worried and gonna have this money block forever. And so you get really uptight and tense about it. Well, guess what? That's all stressed out energy. That's all that feeling of fight or flight. All that does is constrict you. All that does is make it feel unsafe for whatever it is you're looking at. And in this instance, you're looking at the money block or the success block or whatever it might be. And so when you don't have a regulated nervous system around it, and you're not able to regulate your nervous system around it, because either you don't have practice with it, or you have been in a state of chronic stress, or you've had trauma in the past, or any of these things, then you end up not being able to let it go. That's number one. Number two is when you don't understand where it came from, why it came there, why it came into the room to begin with, what purpose it's served, and how it has actually continued to serve you, and your subconscious mind, again, outside of your awareness, still thinks it's serving you. If you don't understand any of that, you can't see your blind spots. Guess what? It's not going anywhere. It's not going to go away. It's not going to scatter out of the room, no matter how much you sit there and think about it. Next, if you have emotions which are tied to this money block, you have emotions, you feel some way about it. Like your parents getting divorced, you're probably going to feel some way about that even now as an adult. And you don't unwind those feelings, and you don't understand those feelings, and you don't allow those feelings, and you don't move through those feelings. Guess what's going to happen? That money block's going to stay there. It's not going to go away. It's going to stay stuck, and you're going to feel stuck with it. And you're going to be like, why isn't this changing? I'll just do more affirmations. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. That's just not how this shit works. Sorry, not sorry, but it's true, right? We can't just think these things away. We have to approach them on all levels. We have to approach them from the emotional level, from the level of chronic stress and trauma, from the level of our nervous system. And then we can approach it from this brain-based perspective, the psychological perspective, obviously, where we understand the process of it, from the subconscious perspective, where we dig into what it's trying to tell us, what it's trying to protect us from. That's outside of our awareness. And then we can get into the mind-based practices where we let it go through things like affirmations and changing the script and things like that you've probably done before and it hasn't worked. So this is why you've probably worked with things like money blocks or success blocks in the past, become aware of them maybe even, and they just haven't shifted. When you shift on all of these levels, particularly starting with making it safe to your nervous system, first and foremost, to let that go, then you're able to shift these things permanently. Then you're able to make lasting change. Then you're able to make it safe to release it without kicking yourself back up into the stress response. Because as I was talking about before, loop it back, right? If this thing is a coping mechanism and your subconscious mind thinks that it's protecting you from something that's threatening, by removing it, you're putting yourself in danger, according to your subconscious mind. So of course your stress response is going to kick up. Of course your fight or flight is going to kick up. And of course you're going to cling onto that thing like nobody's business, even if it's on that subconscious level. And you're going to hold on to that limiting belief, to that money block, to that success block, to that belief that says I can't, or I have to settle, or it's not safe to go there, because you haven't done the processes that make it safe, that unwind it on a neurobiological level, untwine, it's like, imagine all of these like wires wrapped around this money block, and it's there like strapped to your chest like a big, steel pan in the medieval times, protecting you from getting stabbed in the chest, right? But you got all those wires like that wire it around your body and protect you. That's what the money block is like, is that steel pan. But all the wires are all of the different layers that we've been talking about here. The nervous system, the emotions, the traumas, the chronic stress, and all of these things, and the psychological factors, and understanding the coping mechanisms and seeing our blind spots and understanding the subconscious factors. As we do that, what we're doing is we're going snip, 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 and we're snipping those wires until suddenly, bang, the frickin', the iron plate that we've had on our chest the whole time just clangs to the floor. And then we're like, I didn't realize how heavy it was to be carrying that around. I can finally put it down. Thank the Lord. And we feel so much freaking better. That is the process why it might have been challenging for you to let go of money blocks and success blocks and beliefs that have been holding you back all along, what needs to happen in order to make it happen, and the key component being regulating your nervous system so that you feel safe and not stressed out by letting it go to begin with. All right, guys, I will see you again soon. Till then, I hope you have a great day.